Hi everyone and welcome to The Corner. My name is Zena Wood. I'm a producer, writer and performer, and today I'm talking to my friend, peer, colleague, collaborator, Vicu Bazan Szelest. She is the writer and director of XTC, the electronic musical. It is a show that I'm producing as well, and we just had a sold-out, super exciting show at Amsterdam Dance Event in October. We're going to talk about our experience working together with her as the writer-director and me as the producer. We're going to talk about Amsterdam Dance Event, our upcoming shows, all the kind of behind-the-scenes things that go into producing a show, and everything in between. Hi!
Hello.
Thank you for joining The Corner today.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a good conversation. I want to start us at what just happened.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, we had a
show.
Basically where I was going with that.
Exactly.
We had a show called XTC, the electronic musical, which you wrote and directed.
That's right.
And I produced. Mm-hmm. And we had it on the program of Amsterdam Dance Event, which is the world's leading electronic music event. And we were on the arts and culture program. And the show sold out.
Insane.
I don't know if we've spoken about this, but you were backstage because you were also performing in it.
Exactly.
I was running around with the venue manager and the floor manager. And it was this feeling of like looking at the time being like, it's going to start now. Are we opening the doors? You know, and then like, and doors open and people just started flooding in, and the whole system we built with the ticket people or whatever happened. 175 people. I mean,
oh my gosh.
It was a buzz. And in that moment I was like, you know, those moments of joy where you're like, I love my job.
Oh, and as well, I saw the photos. They were queuing outside, and that looked insane.
It looked really cool.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so we're going to speak about ADE from the get-go. ADE, for those who might not know internationally, it's a really big electronic music festival/event, the biggest in the world, where all the leading DJs, all the DJs you've ever thought of, or like immersive audio-visual artists, etc., come to Amsterdam. I think it's 5 days?
5 days,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So we were given the Pro Pass.
We have to show it.
You're still wearing it, right? When are you going to take yours off? Because
Never.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I might take mine off next week.
No. Why?
It gets really wet.
It gets, yeah.
I have to
wet.
take my towel and like, if it's the same color next year, you can
Yes.
just recycle.
Hello, I'm back. No, but that was an amazing experience.
Tell me a little bit about, you know, what we learned at those, for instance, the panels, the ProPass panels at ADE.
So it was so interesting because we got to see light and sound design, for example. That was insane to learn how to merge both worlds. And then we ended up at Daft Punk by Fortnite.
Seeing their creative director.
We cried.
We cried. It was super emotional.
Because we got the closure. Because, it was like the closure of Daft Punk ending. And it was so beautiful. And we got all this amazing experience thanks to being, with the professional pass at ADE.
100%.
And as well, we partied.
I would say we partied as in like we were physically there.
No, just like seeing the venues. Because we were like 1 hour in one venue, 1 hour, like we really saw it as
scouting. We were scouting. And what you were saying just now about how Amsterdam or even the Netherlands, because I know Rotterdam's also a big part of this, but like has this club culture and nightlife culture. It's something that I don't think I would have understood if I didn't live here for a bit. And the show has all these awesome vignettes of nightlife life, which I think is super impactful for all different kinds of people. It's more than just a club situation. It's about people having an experience and about connection. What I loved about your show, even when you brought it to me from the beginning, was that I feel like some like industries or worlds can have a lot of ego, or they can kind of start out as something really beautiful but then become a little bit about the look or the brand or the whatever. And what I liked about your show is that it's speaking about the culture that you love in a way that you like experiencing it, which is having the emotions, not going into the drug part of it, taking drugs or needing a drug to have an experience, but wanting to experience a culture in a way that feels good to you. And I did feel that at ADE as well. I think a lot of people and clubs, venues are wanting this culture to thrive and to live on and not necessarily to be just one thing.
That's why I felt that Amsterdam was a perfect place to launch my project, because 10 years ago I saw Electronica and I saw the show, and it has quite some elements that I use for our show, but I saw it in Buenos Aires and it had a DJ, it had live projections. It didn't have success because people couldn't relate to the electronic music community and history in Buenos Aires. We come from Latin, reggaeton, cumbia. So I felt I loved that show because it was about electronic music, and afterwards I didn't see anything like that. So when I moved here, I was like, well, I moved because I'm an electronic music fan. I had a background in DJ and music production, and I felt like Amsterdam is the heart of electronic music scene, besides of course Berlin. But I felt that a show like that, especially because what we just talked, that people want experiences and connection, it could work here. Yes. And it did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like when you put immersion in a show and it works and you really think about why you're putting it in there, it's incredible.
Yeah. And I also feel like you get to touch people. Yeah, people get moved and they identify because they have the characters next to them, right? Mm-hmm. So they get a different experience. For me right now, it's really hard to go and sit down and watch a show and I feel like I'm being like spoon-fed, It's like instead of actually moving around and experiencing whatever, with my own identity, like see the characters and read the story through my lenses. Yeah. And I also feel that we both love musical theater, that's right now in modern times, like we have to have all this mixture of music and dance and cinematography to to feel a connection with theater.
Yes. So XTC the Electronic Musical is a musical that has a linear structure, but it's an hour-long experience with a roaming camera that further projects the narrative in a more cinematic way. There are like standalone songs in between as well. There's a normal narrative structure. So here we go through to the bathroom. This is in rehearsal.
There we go.
And there we go. So Mila had to keep the door open for Arsen and I. Okay, that's me and Arsen. I'm spotting the camera, and I think this was
a dance, the camera dance.
This was the camera dance. This was, It
was a whole choreograph, right? Like you were doing with him, like you had all the movements written down.
Exactly. So, because the show's going to move, right, and go to different venues, then obviously the team, they're going to be people that we hire, freelancers that come in, for instance, whoever, technical staff or lighting, whatever. And then there's obviously our creative team who needs to know the show. So that's what, as you know, in rehearsals, I was walking around with the actors, making as if I'm holding a camera, making notes as to where we're doing close-ups, where we're in the space, etc., so that I could spot Arsen because he is looking in the camera. So, and he was incredible. He had such a good instinct as to where to put the camera and where to move in for the angles, etc. And I was just, as we were sold out, so like, I was just, normal spotting, like not too tight, not too, like what's behind me? Is there a person? Little, all the safety.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So example, here, he's moving into a close up on T's, and it was just beautiful.
I feel love, I feel love, I feel love, I feel love, I feel love. It's what we need. Ecstasy. I'm one with you. Ecstasy. It's what we need. Ecstasy. Come play with me.
Like club anthems, so we have Donna Summer, I Feel Love. We have Just Close Your Eyes.
That one.
And then at the end we have Satisfaction. And so this song is like a crunch of like all different electronic music anthems. Yeah. And and as well the song has a break and we go into a church part.
Yes.
Because I really wanted to express that feeling of going to an electronic music party, and as well how I felt it for the first time when I was 18. It felt like church. It felt like connecting with God. So that's I really wanted to put that in the song, and it comes across very funny. We have one of the characters dressed as a priest and handing ecstasy pills to the characters and the people as well. So yeah, it was important for me that people actually know the lyrics and know the songs and dance to connect with the music and the play.
Yeah, and the result was so cool. I mean, look at this. Like, and this is after the character Max basically starts his demise into his own darkness.
Exactly.
So the show has many different themes. One of the themes is sobriety.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, this was something that you were busy with and experiencing, etc. How did it feel to have your message out there, or not even your message, but more like something so personal?
So I knew that for me, it didn't work. Drinking or using substances, it was starting to feel off. And I wrote the play. Max's character is pretty much based in my past experiences because he's an ex-clubber who became sober for the love of his life. He wanted to change for her. But then he goes out and he gets tempted to use substances again, and he does. And then there's the other character, which is Ursula, the love of his life, and she's a sober DJ. So I wanted to have representation of, sober DJs, which there are many out there. Yeah. And it's something that being in the nightlife for so long, you start asking questions to yourself. And a lot of people go into sobriety because that's the best way to keep being in the nightlife.
Keep going, yeah.
Exactly. So for me, it was something like that. I became sober 2 years ago because I got tired of hangovers. And at the same time, it was a little bit like my fight against the system of consumption, because when you're young, you learn that you have to drink in order to have fun, that you have to take a pill in order to dance. And I believed that for a long, long time. And 2 years ago, I started asking myself, do I need this? Like, I feel pretty free, and I have, I can actually try. So I've tried for a month, then it became 6 months, and then it became 2 years. And it felt very lonely. It felt very lonely because I didn't identify with my party friends anymore. I still sometimes I'm around people drinking and smoking, which is all good, but you feel isolated because you're not on the same vibe. So I wanted to talk about that in my show, like the two sides of it. And actually there's a song about the character Ursula where she sings the song Lonely. And that's pretty much how sometimes I feel right now. So it was important for me to have, all these layers, because it's not a show about sobriety. It's not a show that says, don't do drugs, don't drink, but it's a show that talks about all the things in the nightlife. And I think that's where people feel related, because maybe sometimes, they ask themselves, should I just stop drinking for a while, and maybe they do it again and they feel like a bad feeling. So I've heard from the audience that they felt identified with the characters because of this.
You had an incredible performance of your song Lonely. It was really moving. And we're going to look at a little bit of that now. That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I remember being there with the camera behind Arsen and just being like, yes, it's happening.
It was a very powerful moment, because being an actress is hard, but being an actress and director is harder. For me, it's easier sometimes if I'm in it, because I know what I want to express to the audience. So I was, during the whole show, to be honest, I was very nervous. I had a very bad experience because I was nervous being an actress and a director, but it looked great. Like nobody saw that, but that's normal, because when you're a director, you're all the time seeing things, and that's just part of the show. But this moment is right next to the ending of the show. So I felt like this is a time where I can release all the tension I had during the show.
Yeah.
And I really channeled through Ursula, through the character, all these feelings of, sometimes feeling that my show wouldn't be enough, that I was scared of what people would think. And all these fear, all these negative emotions, I put them in the song, and it came across quite powerful.
Yeah.
So that's also the exit of my character. So after that, I exit, and I was like, this is it, and it was lovely. Yeah. It felt great.
And so I just want to ask you, what are the beginnings of the show? Like, when did you write it?
So I studied the Bachelor in Performing Arts, and it was pretty much related with musical theater. So I was surrounded by musical theater kids all the time, but I never, I did like some musicals, but I never felt like a musical theater kid. I love music, I love dancing, I love singing, I love theater, but what is the way to combine those? And on the other side, I started clubbing very early on. When I was 18, I discovered techno music for the first time, and I felt home. And I started going out a lot and learning how to DJ, learning how to produce music. So I had my two worlds that were so disconnected. And I was all the time thinking, how can I make this happen? So then, I moved to Amsterdam, and we did cabaret.
Yes, that's where we met.
That's how we met. We were both
cabaret.
Kit Kat girls.
Yes.
Acting there. And after cabaret, I was like, I have to create something. I watched Rent for the first time, the movie actually. And I started to think, hey, I can maybe write a musical that has electronic music in it. And yeah, the musical has, for example, a character, their name is Quinn. They're a non-binary drag queen of the night, and I pretty much base the character in as the MC of cabaret. So I started writing it, and yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a play with 4 songs. And it was at a very early stage, the script, and I applied to the Amsterdam Fringe in 2023. I wanted to make it inside a festival so I could have time to develop it and, as well maybe funding and that kind of stuff, because I felt I couldn't do it on my own. And it got rejected. And I was like, okay, this is the end. Nobody wants this. And
love that feeling.
Drama. And then the year after I apply again, and it was rejected again, and it was rejected as well from Boring Festival in Haarlem, which is a multidisciplinary festival. We will have news.
We have news.
So yeah, I got a lot of rejection, and I was like, well, this is it.
It's easy to feel that way.
Yeah. So I moved to film. So I started doing film, and I wrote my first short film, which also has to do with electronic music. And I did my short film. It was a 5-minute short film called After Party. That now we got 5 official selections and 1 award. It's crazy. But once I did my short film, I was like, hey, I can be a director. I can do this. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try again with XTC. So I applied to ADE, to the Arts and Culture program, in February. I didn't hear anything for months. And then at the end of July, I heard back from them saying, we love it. Let's make it happen. Yeah. And that's when I called Zena.
Yeah, I love this. I'm seeing a lot of myself in there as well, flipping from different genres and different styles and timing, doors being locked for things, but then doors opening for other things. Yeah. But I think this is why, many times you'll get the sort of popular advice that says always have the material in your toolbox, ready to give to someone, right? Have the scripts, because you never know when that right moment is going to be.
It's a timing thing, I feel sometimes.
It's a timing thing, but it's also working, honing all that stuff so that the timing can get you.
Yeah.
But okay, so yes, you call me. I'm in Bryant Park in New York, one of my favorite places. And you asked me a producing question, and I'm like, this is going to be a longer conversation. So we did the funding process. It went well. Okay, firstly, I said I want to sign on as producer.
Yeah.
And
then I felt,
yes,
oh, it's real. If she wants to be in, it's real, and we have to be professional. It's let's go.
Yeah. And then they liked it, but they wanted us to adjust some stuff. Yeah. I think it was the day I landed from Edinburgh. I was like, I was ready to tell everyone, leave me alone for a week. I don't want to talk to anyone. But then they needed a new budget. So I did what I call a bed budget, which is I do the budget from bed.
And they gave us 2 hours.
Yeah, actually,
to
it was a very
rework.
quick budget.
I cried a little bit
yes.
because I was stressed. I called you and he was like, we have 2 hours to rework the budget. Can we
like,
do it? Let's
I'm
go.
asked. I guess I'm not napping. And then they liked it.
Oh my
We
gosh.
got it. It was a
Yes.
great feeling. The show was a huge success. We worked with Desmet Studios, who is a great TV studio that also doubles up as event spaces. They're incredible. It's so amazing to work with a venue that's also supportive, that's got experience.
And it was our
it was
dream
incredible. It was the one we wanted.
When we went
Yeah.
there to scout, we were like, this
Yeah.
is it. This is it.
100%.
But then we had to make it work, and we did.
Let's go into the development process, because that's one of my favorite things.
Yes.
I also think it's good to know, because I do think it's sort of commonly not spoken about enough, because we kind of think, okay, the writer writes the script is done, the script goes to blah blah blah. It's not like that.
It's not like that.
And thank goodness, because the whole process, it is a collaborative situation, right? So you wrote the script.
I rewrote the script.
You rewrote the script. You did rewrite
Yeah.
yourself.
I sent it to you.
Yes.
And as well Mimi, I think.
Yeah.
Mimi, our assistant
The
director.
yeah.
And you had feedback.
Yes.
So I rewrote it.
Yes.
And then we did a table read.
And then I had more feedback.
And you had more feedback. We all knew that the script was going to change. And even with your own show, you told me that you keep writing it.
Exactly. I mean, because my show, we developed in New York with a team, a music director, everyone. I wrote it, I produced it, I was in it, similar to this now. I did so many rewrites. I kind of loved the thing of going like, new pages. I was like, SNL, hello. It felt really good, but it was insane, because it's not done. You think it's done, but I'm sure you felt this too. You have this instinct that it's not done, but you're like, please don't make me rewrite it.
Please be done.
Please be done, but it's not done.
No.
If you ignore an instinct, or if you don't want to just do more, it's not gonna work. Okay, so we went into development. What I liked about your directing style as well, and I like working like this too, is that we then had the rehearsal, but then the actors, you gave them some space to also change some things in an instinctive way, like in the moment kind of a thing. Yeah. And I love that, because as the writer, obviously, you see the arc of the story, you see certain things, you have a certain vision, but then you bring it to a producer. The producer is passionate about, or should be, making a show better, having a good show on their books, right? Yeah. Otherwise, why is the producer doing it? Yeah. For the money, maybe? Yeah, if you're lucky, but then I still would say it's not a good reason to do it.
Exactly.
Then the director comes, makes it better. Then the actors come, they make it better. And when all those things don't happen, that's when you start seeing holes. Yeah. Example, what is the show that I'm super passionate about?
Buffy.
Thank you. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Season 6, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I'll keep it short, is darker. They changed networks. It's a darker show. I would say it's a little bit too dark. The actor who plays the character Spike, he attacks Buffy in season 6 in a way that's pretty dark. I'm not going to go into specifics. And in interviews after, he actually said he had to go into therapy for that, because he felt he'd been playing the character of Spike for 5 seasons, and people relate to them. They see themselves in this character. So if he is going to do something really terrible to someone, they will feel that he's almost doing it to them. Yeah. Something's like a trust is broken. Yeah. The writers apparently wanted him to do this thing because one of the writers apparently had a similar experience, and she wanted to sort of like put that in her writing. But James Masters said, I don't want to do this. And by contract, he could not do it. So he had to do it, and then had to go into therapy for I don't know how long. And I think it is one of the weakest points of the show, him making that choice. Yeah. But if they listened to the actor in this case, I think it would have made for a better season, Yes, you need the heads of departments. They have to be able to have the final executive decision, but it really helps to listen, especially when someone feels super serious about something.
This is also about creative control, because at the beginning it was really hard for me to let go, especially because I do a lot of roles. I initially compose the music, the lyrics, the text, I'm directing it, but then I realized I have to let go, because it's not about my experience anymore. It's about the experience of my team and the audience. Yeah. And listening to the actors, to you, to Mimi, feedback, that made it relatable, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I mean the relationship between the producer and the director, which is us. That's very important, right?
It is.
Because the joke is obviously right. The producer always says no, which is true.
Yeah, but
You
I
got
feel
it.
like you also say yes. You have so many ideas, so it's both, and that's
Yes and
what
no,
makes it so beautiful.
Oh, that's so nice.
It
Thank you.
is, yeah.
But that tension is so healthy. It needs to be there because it's yet again another check and balance on the quality of the show
Yes.
and the experience of the people.
Yeah.
And I loved that you and I could have that tension in such an empowering way.
Yeah, it's again like because you have the different perspectives, and then the audience will also have different perspectives. So I think
Yes.
like that's how we make the show, even better by having this both a little bit of your side, a little bit of my perspective. I love how you work, and you're so experienced, and I felt that Zena was the perfect fit for the show because it's a difficult show. It's not just theater. It's not film. It's not an electronic music party. It's all of them. So when we were at the theater, and you were talking about the camera stuff, but at the same time, like, I don't know, the microphone or the light, or I was like, thank God I'm working with her, because I didn't need only a theater producer and a film producer. I needed both. So I felt like that's how you came perfectly to our team. So I'm really grateful for that.
Thank
and
you.
I learned so much, and I'm learning so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You've been pretty clear on your vision that you want this to feel like a musical.
Yeah.
And I love it works so well. I love it. But in rehearsals, I was really focusing on getting the camera, the storyline that we were speaking about, or that we were portraying on the camera, to work as well, because I was saying, if we're just throwing a camera in the mix, then it looks like we just wanted to throw some tech in there.
Yeah.
And if we're not telling a story for the camera as well, for the audience viewing the screen, then people won't feel anything because we're not telling a story.
Yeah.
And so we did have quite a few conversations about like how to uphold the musical theater acting, because it's a different style of acting for the actors.
Yeah.
And what we ended up with was that Tees, one of our actors that plays basically, I would say one of the lead roles is called Max. And that he would be like the film protagonist, in the fact that we would like follow his story in that way.
Yeah.
But there were times when you and I had, I think it was a tense sort of, it's not tense, the word almost doesn't work, but like there's tension in the fact that your vision was about the musical theater and my vision was about the camera.
Exactly.
And so we really needed to
align those.
walk that line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we ended up as well finding moments for each of them. For example, there is a moment where we see the characters leaving the theater space, and they go to the toilet to do stuff there. And the camera follows them, and that's where we can bring the very cinematic feel to it.
Yeah.
So we pay attention to close-ups and we can, and the actors as well play smaller, and as well their voice has to still be projected because we are listening from the theater, but that's how we got to mix both. And I feel it's still growing, like it's in development, like we're finding moments where to go more film or more theater-y. Yeah.
Totally, and I'm super excited to explore that more, because I do think there's more there as well. The show was on the ADE Arts and Culture program, and I know we wanted to basically put it out in the world before we had the show of like, add us to your ADE program, because the show is a little bit different to just going to a club and hearing a DJ lineup, so how did you experience that difference, like being on the arts and culture program and writing something that was a little bit different to what we'd see at ADE?
I've been going quite a lot to ADE and other festivals where there are performances with electronic music, but I've never really seen a 1 hour theater show with a linear story. So I really wanted to bring that theater vibe to ADE, and as well making an experience for people that we've been talking about that. So I want people to experience that they can go out and so the show is divided by half an hour DJ set, then we have 1 hour theater show, and then half an hour DJ set to dance and release everything from the show. So I wanted people to have a whole experience, and adding the immersive element to it, for them to go and see theater, but actually dance and enjoy and have fun, and as well, hopefully that they would exit the show feeling changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after the show, I mean, because remember, this was our opening show. So we had no idea what to expect. And it was so cool that the show was done, actors, backstage, whatever, people are still mulling around. And I spoke with so many different people because they could see I was crew, like they could see I was producer or something, I had my badge. And they were saying things to me, and it was so awesome to hear people say the same word. Like if you make a word cloud about a show and it has all the words that you're like, that's what our show is. They were saying relatable so many times, and they were saying like, oh my gosh, I've been that guy, these kinds of things. And I don't think an audience, even realizes how much we appreciate that, but also like how much that tells us about the show. Yeah. Because now we can kind of mold it as we go into the next venues according to what people organically said.
Yeah, exactly. And as well, like we are trying for a future to go into nightclubs and more festivals and connect with the people that feel related to it. And the story as well has a lot of messages inside, a lot about sobriety, because as well that's also my experience, so it was important for me to have both sides of my story, but at the same time it has queer related themes, so there's a lot of elements there that make the audience feel identified with and related.
What did you think the audience was going to say?
I thought they were going to say that they found it like somehow dark, but actually people had a lot of fun.
They did, yeah.
And actually when I wrote the show, I thought it would be a drama. But then when we did the table read, I was like, hey, people are laughing. So
you were like, why are people laughing?
This is like drama. But this, again, the element of cabaret comes, a musical. So cabaret starts very lightly, so it's like fun, and then it goes into the darkness.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted to as well bring, because a play which is only drama, it becomes boring at one point. So that's why you have to have like different colors thrown into it.
It was so satisfying when we got all those laughs by the audience in places that we never had before. And it's just such a good feeling.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So with a show that has the audience around actors and obstacles, obviously that was something that was the top of my priority, keeping everyone safe and knowing where we're choreographing movement, knowing where to stand. And then we sold out the show. And capacity-wise, that's fine, because we measured, we knew.
But so it's something you cannot really rehearse until you're there.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think what was super important was to let the audience know what we're expecting of them. Because they're coming, they don't necessarily know what they're watching, or where, a friend could have just said, hey, I'm coming, come with me to this thing.
Theater show.
Yes. Me and the usher, just in one of the parts where we had the blocking for most of the action, we had us just like stand back to back and just go like this.
Exactly.
And that was what they needed. They needed to know that spot was where they needed to clear. And then we had that whole area around the DJ booth where we also went like this. And for the rest of the show, sometimes one wandered in there and you kind of just had to get them out again. But, it's super important to let the audience know what you expect of them as a production. Yeah. Because if they don't, that's where issues happen. And that's, for me, is the worst thing. Yeah. That cannot happen. And it was one of our logistics conversations. And I think we handled it really, really well. I mean,
I think we did learn how to maybe in the future make the audience dance even more, because that's, for me, one of the main reasons why I also did XTC and why we have the opening DJ set and the closing DJ set, is because I want people to dance. And because dancing connects you with yourself. It's like you are more open after you dance and release your body. So that's why I wanted people to start dancing from the beginning, in order to to feel connected to the story. So I feel like for this one, people were a little bit shy, maybe, like they were not, as dancing.
And we spoke about it afterwards. I do think that's a us thing, because again, it is our responsibility to be there for the audience and to guide them. And so we've had this conversation on like, okay, is it the actors that are going to guide them into that moment? Is it the DJ? Is it the set design? Like, which part of our show is going to help guide the audience to know that it's okay to dance?
Exactly. And as well, this is what we're going to do on our next date at the Hintergarten on the 21st of November. We said that for our next show, we wanted to make it more immersive so people can actually feel free to dance. So we're going to maybe from the beginning start already. All the characters are going to be around the audience, and we will have a few goals to do. Maybe, I don't know, make a friend or make this person dance.
Yes.
And we're adding this extra immersive layer in order to test out if people are going to feel more connected and dance. So I think this is also cool that we are going to start changing venues, and every night we're going to have a different audience, and we will have to test out like how it goes. But I feel that we will be learning a lot from this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we're going to have different technical requirements, or well, we have the same requirements, but the venues have different setups, etc. So we're going to have to pivot a little bit depending on which venue we're in. Blocking might change a little bit. But yeah, I really believe that if you stick to those foundations and of like, you know, keeping everyone safe, the guidelines, helping the audience know what they're doing, where they are, then you can go into any venue really and be okay.
Yeah, exactly. And as well, I feel like we have a great team.
Yeah.
By the way, we have a whole international team. Like everybody
True.
has a different nationality.
We have 10 There's no duplicate?
No.
I didn't even realize
That's
that.
insane. There's only one Dutch guy, which is Thies.
Yeah, for those who might not know, there are a lot of internationals in Amsterdam. And so, I don't know, what would we say the environment is like to work with theater pieces here?
So I feel there is, as I said, like there is a lot of English speaking. Yeah, there's an English speaking audience here. And what I see is that there are a lot of English theater plays, dance performances, which are language no problem. But they're in between where we want to be. That's like a show that connects theater and dance and music. With English speaking actors. Yeah. And you also have done that, right, with your immersive show. Yeah. So I feel like, there is an audience for this kind of, you know, multidisciplinary English speaking plays. Yeah,
I feel like Amsterdam's like a pirate city.
Yeah.
Like you can just try things out.
Yeah.
We're on the docks. A lot of international, I don't know. It feels experimental in a way.
Yeah.
It feels like a place where you can try stuff, but then like you said, sometimes things are quite siloed.
Yeah.
But there is so much opportunity to mix them.
And support as well.
Yeah.
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 We have support from all sides, I feel.
Yeah.
The Amsterdam gemeente and Amsterdam city, they provide funding as well for a lot of internationals. Yeah. And I feel like this is a perfect city to try this kind of stuff. Yeah.
5 things to think of when producing a show at Amsterdam Dance Event.
Bring a charger.
I love that one. In a backpack.
Bring warm clothes because it's gonna rain and you're gonna get wet. And there are umbrellas, but we didn't get to grab them. Bring flyers because every time you're talking with people, you want to show your flyer.
Go to panels that aren't necessarily about what you're doing, but other themes and subjects, because it just gives you this feeling that everything's kind of connected, no matter what genre, whatever we're working in, which is super empowering.
And as well, there was a big important part for us that it was not to force networking because we went to these different hubs from ADE and we saw all the networking happening in tables with business people. And we were like, okay, I guess we're not part of it. And then we went to a dance show and we sat in a couch and we ended up meeting the programmer of a festival we want to be in, and it was natural, effortless, and that's how we got to network most of the part of ADE.
Yeah, just enjoying being there, basically.
100%. Yeah.
And also getting tired of standing, so needing to sit. I'd say ADE wouldn't have been successful for us if we didn't have a super successful pre-production phase. We did our homework, we knew what we needed from the venue, from the partners, from our team, etc. And then once ADE started, I felt very relaxed.
Yeah. Same. And as well, we knew where to go, who to talk to as well. Yes. So it was, really easy. Yeah. And we could enjoy, actually, parts of it. Yeah.
I think it's good to realize that when you do a festival or something like ADE, that it is a pop-up situation. You're not in a standalone theater or venue that has all its systems, and you're the next show and you're going to be playing there for 6 weeks or whatever. And so you need to make certain adjustments to make it simple for you to move in quick and get out quick. So lighting plans are simple. You've got a plan of what you want to give to your technician, to make it easy and super successful to just move in, have a great show, move out, and keep everything safe and organized. So we have an announcement.
We do.
Am I allowed to explode a confetti gun? We have been accepted to
Boring Festival 2026 in Haarlem. On February 7th,
Yes.
we're going to be there, and honestly, it's one of my dream festivals. I applied 2 years before, I didn't hear anything, but this year is happening, so excited.
It's happening. And we're super excited to do festivals in any capacity, so we're free to do festivals if anyone out there needs to hear it.
So our next date is the Kindergarten on 21st of November, then Boring Festival on February 7th, and who knows, many much more.
Exactly.
So if you want to find us on Instagram, is xtc.electronicmusical. Follow us for more updates about our future events, behind the scenes, and you can find as well all our actors there. You can find me, Vicu, on Instagram at Vicoops, B and S.
And you can find me at Space Weather Girl TV. Vicu, it's been great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
It's been
much.
so much fun.
Dee 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 dee.